Hello and welcome to the topic on data security and risk management. In this topic, we are going to understand the importance of data security and risk management. And that's why we are saying that in today's digital age, data is the lifeblood of organizations. So we need to look for ways and means to be able to protect it because it's a critical asset for any organization. And we are protecting it from any forms of security threats. We are protecting it from managing associated risks to ensure that we have success around the issues of data presentation. So we are going to explore various data security aspects on what we need to do, ways that we are going to protect our data, and so much more in this particular lecture. We want to understand data security threats. We are saying organizations face a diverse range of data security threats. And these threats include, number one, what we call cyber attacks. Cyber attacks include malware, ransomware, phishing attempts, and other malicious attacks. And the aim of these attacks, of course, is to steal or compromise data. And then other threats include data breaches, where we have unauthorized access or exposure of sensitive information. We have data security threats in the name of human errors. We have accidental data loss, misuse or insider threats. And then we have natural disasters, where we have power outages, floods, or other physical events disrupting data systems. Now, for us to be able to implement effective data security measures, there are a number of things that we need to do so that we can get it right. Number one is what we call access controls. This simply means we limit access to data based on roles and permissions, or what we can simply means only authorized persons or systems can access specific data. So that is one way to ensure security. The other one is what we call data encryption. Security data at rest and in transit with strong encryption algorithms. So we can make sure our information or data is protected. The other one is network security, where we implement firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and other network security tools. So we can introduce ways of protecting access to our network, because that is one way that we could lose our data. We can also do data backup and recovery. That means we need to have a robust backup system and recovery plan in place for potential data loss or breaches. The other one is employee education and training, where we raising awareness of data security best practices. Employees need to know and be aware of how data security should be done within an organization setup. We have what we call data risk management, and we are saying it involves identifying, assessing, and mitigating potential risks to data security. And when we are doing this, we have a number of steps that we undertake. The first one is risk identification. So here we are going to identify and prioritize potential data security threats. So we could know in what areas is our data subjected to a security threat. And then we assess the risk, or what we call risk assessment. Here we analyze the likelihood and potential impact of identified threats. The other one is risk mitigation, implementing controls and measures to reduce the likelihood or impact of identified risks. So what is it that we can be able to do to prevent the risks that we have identified? and the other one is risk monitoring and review. In this particular step, then we are going to regularly evaluate and update risk management plans and different forms of controls. There are benefits that we are going to get due to effective data security and risk management. Number one is that effective data security and risk management offers numerous benefits. It offers numerous benefits, and this includes reduced risk of data breaches and security incidents. So we have a reduced risk of data breaches. The other one is improved compliance with data privacy regulations. Improved compliance with data privacy regulations, so we become better in terms of even respecting the law and what the law says in terms of data privacy and regulations. And of course, we also have an enhanced brand reputation and customer trust. No organization, of course, wants to be involved in a conversation of customers' data having leaked. That could be a dangerous thing that could affect the reputation of the company. And the other one is improved business continuity and resilience. And finally, lower costs associated with data breaches and security incidents. When we have data breaches, as an organization, you are pushed to spending money in now to be able to put the safeguards when it is already late. So when we do it in advance, then all the costs that we could have incurred because of data breaches are taken care of, and we end up not spending any amount of money. Then we are going to discuss data breach prevention and response. We are saying the definition, what we are calling data breach, is a security incident that results in the unauthorized access, disclosure, alteration, or destruction of sensitive data. Now, what are some of the common causes of data breach? Number one is what we call cyber attacks. It could also be caused by human error. It could also be caused by insider threats. It could also, data breach could also be caused by physical threats and also natural disasters. Potential consequences of data breaches. Number one is financial losses. This is an issue that has really affected banks across the world. A slight data breach could lead to the banks losing a lot of money. Financial reputation damage. So if your organization is found in such kind of a scenario, then they lose their reputation. And we have also legal penalties, regulatory sanctions, and customer lawsuits. So customers could also sue you as an organization because of data breach. Prevention of data breaches. There are a number of things that we need to do to be able to implement robust cybersecurity measures. Number one, access control and user authentication or user authentication. So this simply means anyone who is supposed to access any data, they have to authenticate themselves. And we have very many ways we can do that. They can authenticate themselves using fingerprints, passwords, to be able to gain access to the system or where the data is stored. The other one is data encryption at rest and in transit. The other one is network security tools. So we can use firewalls, we can use intrusion detection systems. In case of any data breaches, we could have systems alerting those concerned. We have vulnerability management and patching. And finally is regular security audits and penetration testing. We can always keep testing our systems and see whether they are strong enough to withstand any form of data breaches. We need also to foster a culture of security awareness. So how do we do that? Number one, we need to ensure our employees are trained on cyber threats. The second one, we need to also ensure incident reporting and response procedures. The other one, we need to ensure data privacy policies and compliance guidelines are put in place and they are followed into the letter. We have what we call data breach response. So where we have immediate actions for data breach response. Number one, contain the breach. So identify and isolate the source of breach to prevent further data loss. The other one is access the damage, where we determine the extent of breach, affected data and potential impact. And then also we need to notify the affected individuals and authorities. That is going to involve us communicating transparently about the breach and follow legal reporting requirements. Remember, when we don't do this, then if the clients and any other person who has been affected notices, they could be an avenue for them to sue the organization because of not communicating to them what happened. Data breach, investigate the incident. That means you identify the root cause and learn from the experience to prevent future breaches. And then also implement remedial measures. These are meant to enhance security controls, address any form of vulnerabilities, and improve response procedures. We have best practices for effective response. There are a number of things that we need to do so that we ensure our response is very effective. Number one, we need to clearly define roles and responsibilities. So when we are talking about defining roles and responsibilities, we need to know who is supposed to do what within issues of data security. And that also is going to ensure that we have accountability and we have someone we can ask. The other one is communication protocols from internal and external stakeholders. The other one is incident response procedures and escalation pathways. So if there is anything that has been detected, we can formulate procedures. And escalation pathways means how can we work upwards in order to be able to sort the issue completely. And then we also have data recovery and backups. And then also legal and regulatory compliance considerations can also be put in place. Conduct regular response plan testing and drills. So these ones are meant to internally be testing and remain in standby, where we simulate breach scenarios to identify weaknesses and provide responses effectiveness. Practice communication and coordination among response teams. We also want to build resilience in matters data security and continuous security improvement. We are talking about the need for us to stay informed about evolving threats and vulnerabilities. We also need to regularly reassess risks and update security controls. We also want to be able to invest in security awareness training and user education. And finally, to be able to foster a culture of security and accountability within the organization. So these are the things that we need to do to build resilience. Then we ask ourselves a keyword that we have been mentioning here about encryption. And we are saying when we are doing encryption, now it is the process of transferring readable data into unreadable format. And we do this using what we call a secret key. So what happens in encryption? Algorithms scramble the data, making it unintelligible to anyone without the encryption key or the key, secret key. So that simply means whoever will try to access any of this data, they cannot be able to understand it. Therefore, it becomes very difficult for them to be able to cause a breach. Types of encryptions, we have asymmetric share key or symmetric, where into brackets we call it the share key. We have asymmetric, where we have a public-private key. And then how do we apply it? We secure the data at rest in terms of storage, in transit, transmission, and in use memory. Benefits of encryption. Number one is confidentiality. It's going to ensure only authorized individuals can access and understand sensitive data. The other one is integrity. Protects data from unauthorized modification or tampering. The other one is non-repudiation. It provides proof of origin and prevents denial of sending or receiving data. And finally, as a benefit is in terms of compliance, it helps organizations meet data privacy regulations and industry standards. Now, what are cybersecurity measures? We also need to use these measures. We are saying they are a comprehensive set of practical and technologies that are designed to protect systems, networks, and data from cyber threats. And examples of cybersecurity measures include access control and user authentication, network security tools where we can use firewalls, intrusion detection systems, vulnerability management and patching, data backup and recovery plans, and then also security awareness training and education. So we can be able to do all that to ensure that we undertake cybersecurity measures. Then we also ask ourselves on why are cybersecurity measures important. Number one is to aid or ensure protection against any form of cyber attacks. So we are able to deal with the risks of malware, ransomware, phishing attempts, and other malicious activities. And then also we have reduced data breaches. So we are able to minimize the likelihood and impact of unauthorized access. And then also we are able to enhance business continuity. This ensures that the systems and data remain operational even in cyber attack occurs. And finally is also what we had mentioned a while back in terms of improved brand reputation. It demonstrates commitment to data security and customer trust. Finally, we want to understand how we integrate encryption and cybersecurity measures. We can be able to do a number of things. The first one is having a layered approach is very essential for robust security. And we can also ensure encryption secures data at rest and in transit, while cybersecurity measures protect systems and networks. And finally, combined, they are going to create a multi-layered defense. So the aim is to create a defense that cannot be easily hacked or interfered with by whoever that intend to interfere with the same or cause a data breach. So this particular slide is going to bring us to the end of the discussion around data breaches. So these are measures that you could even advise organizations to be able to apply in order to ensure that their data is safe.